So I wasn't really in touch with my culture as such. I think I've grown up now to love it and embrace it more, and to want to seek and find out more of where I'm from. I mean, I've loved as I said, I understand the language. It's my favorite food. So everyone's always confused. Is this British girl? What do you know about Amala? What do you know about Wiggery? Do you know what I mean? But I love the culture, like being African and being Nigerian, is so, making it as an artist in the UK is very, very, very tight. And it's crazy because we're such a small island, but there's just so much that comes with being successful. It's very much dominated and how can I say, controlled by labels and the big heads. So, well, I want to work with CK, 100% want to work with CK. I love CK. Omale, obviously, he's amazing. He's crossed over. There's so many. London, the beat, like on the beat. I know Chills, actually. I want to work with him. A lot of people I'm just waiting to work with. LAX, want to work with him. Who else? There's so many talented people, my brain. Choose Beats as well. I'm kind of hoping to work with him. Malik himself. So yeah, there's a few people that I've seen. Even Rexy on the beat, he's so talented. Crayon. Yeah, Rema, Don Jazzy obviously has co-signed my last single. So I think it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. I just need to pack my bags and come over, you know?
So I wanted to ask, when I got the notification or the heads up that I was going to do this, and I introduced your music, your sound to me, the first question that came to mind was, okay, the name, Shay La Rose. It seems like a mouthful, but in this industry, where we have heard some very, very funny names. So very, do you understand? I think you have a part. So talk to me about the name, Shay La Rose.
Well, Shay La Rose is literally... It's literally Shay La Rose. It's my first name shortened. My first name is Shadiat, so it's shortened from Shadiat to Shay. Just so it's easy.
First name is, are you saying Shadi or Shadiat?
Shadiat.
Shadiat.
Yeah, Shadiat. It's an Arabic name, right? So
okay. So
I just thought, let's cut that.
I am familiar with the name. Here, you know, you called it with so much, you're like Shadia. But here in Nigeria, Shadia.
Oh yeah, Shadia. Yeah, you guys slow it down a bit.
Oh, okay. So it's a shortened form of Shadiat, and it's just, why did you decide to add the rose at the back? I suspect I know the reason, but I'd like you to say it.
Well, I believe I'm a rose. I love roses. Rose is like the best gesture for me anyway. I'd say for a woman, but I'd say I'll talk for myself for me. But it also represents a lot of things. A rose is sexy, a rose is bold, a rose is feisty and fierce. It has thorns on it, so don't get on its wrong side, kind of thing. And it's just a stage name. But yeah, I love roses.
Oh, okay. Shay La Rose. Shay La Rose. That's French, right?
Yeah, La Rose. It's La Rose, yeah.
Okay. Because you did mention that, although you corrected yourself and said for you, a rose is one of the gifts you could give. I was like, the rose? You give a woman a rose? Oh, that's why I was like, yeah, it's good as you said for you. But generally, if we do a poll now and ask, what would you rather get? The latest Mercedes or bouquet of roses?
That's different. That's
different. How is it different?
It's a gesture. Roses is a gesture. It's a gesture.
Buying you a Benz is a gesture as well, though.
And you can put 50 roses on top of that Benz. Nice. Oh. Then it will look like a gift.
So you want
wrap
both?
It up. Why not? Why not?
Oh yeah, that's interesting. Okay. So Shadia became Shay La Rose. What's your full name? I know you're Nigerian. I'm correct, right?
Yeah. So my full name is Asuni. Shadia Asuni.
Shadiat Asuni. You're Yoruba?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think that was an obvious name.
No, it's in my head, the way you pronounce it now, in my head, I'm trying to, usually once the name comes, I try to spell it, then I can tell that, okay, this person is either from Yoruba or is Igbo or anything. So Shadia and Shay La Rose. That's interesting. People are going to have a lot of fun with how Shadia became Shay La Rose. Okay, so Shay,
Yes.
Yoruba and everything. Talk to me about growing up. You get. A lot of us are really interested in how
Yes.
our people across the pond, how they grew up. You know, growing up in Nigeria is way different from how it is there.
Exactly.
But your parents are Nigerians, and family, at least those family will be Nigerians, but you're out of this environment that we're used to. So talk to me about it. How was growing up for you?
Diaspora. Very, very different. I grew up with my mom and my siblings in London. So I'd say I'm a British girl at first, because I was never really, obviously I understand the language, I don't speak it. But I think it was only when I got into like college and uni, I started to embrace my culture, because I started to be around Africans, Nigerians, whereas before I grew up just with my family and then Caribbean people. So I wasn't really in touch with my culture as such. I think I've grown up now to love it and embrace it more, and to want to seek and find out more of where I'm from. I mean, I've loved as I said, I understand the language. It's my favorite food. So everyone's always confused. This British girl, what do you know about amala? What do you know about riggery? Do you know what I mean? But I love the culture, like being African and being Nigerian, is so, it's a proud feeling for me. And I do want to go back to Nigeria and explore more, because it's been a long time. So yeah, growing up, I just grew up in London as a British girl with my family, just really heavily influenced in music, in Christianity, and yeah, literally that's
okay. So
kind of a sheltered life, you know.
At what point did the music come in? Because in as much as you're here now, you've grown up, you're self-aware, you're aware of a couple of stuff, and you didn't start embracing the culture until you went to university. So at what point did music come in for you?
Music has always been a passion of mine. I think like performing, always wanted to express myself through dance, through music, through the arts has been a desire of mine. I don't know why. Even from church, as I said, I was always in the choir. I still am in the choir. It's just a form of expression for me. And I think when I'd been to college, when I'd been to school, when I'd been to uni and studied, and you know, my mum made me go, I still thought, you know, I really want to do music. So it's just been a passion.
So it's been a passion. It's been something you've always wanted to do, and that's what has led you to being Shay La Rose.
Yes.
So what was the first? Can you remember the first song you wrote?
Oh my goodness, the first song. I started off doing music in a girl group, which is crazy. So it's probably there was 4 of us.
Okay.
And at the time, we were kind of being managed by a guy who was Little Kim's dancer, very random. I'll never forget him. So we would always practice with him on the weekends, and then when he was around, because he was always on tour in America, I was always surrounded by like musicians and musical people. So that was great growing up. I can't really remember a song. I'd say probably my first song that I sang a long time ago, which was an R&B song.
Okay.
And that was about love. But what did I know? What did I know, really?
I understand. You know, it's easier for people to, you know, to just release a love song as their first official, because at the time, I'm trying to just, at the time, probably that's what was going on. That was what they were, the environment, that's what the music was saying, you know. So all those songs you like and everything. So when the idea forms in your head that you want to write your own song, it has to be about love, even though you don't have
love. It's just
no experience.
Exactly. It's like a currency. Everybody knows that love is just, you know.
And people would always sing and listen to songs about love. So it's
relatable. It's the number one thing.
Yes. Okay, so from that song to She's Bad Now, that's the song you just put out. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's a big transition.
Exactly. So what are some of the things you've learned along the line? Like from being managed by Lil Kim's dancer to you to you shouting out one day Cole and you know, putting out these songs out. So what have you learned along the line? What's the process like?
So much. It's been a journey, definitely. I've learned to be confident. in myself to begin with, and confident in what I do. I think in the beginning I loved R&B, I loved Afrobeats, I loved hip hop, but it was like, okay, so how can I make this Shay La Rose? And as I said, I always loved to dance. So it was like, okay, I want to show people that I sing, and I want to show people that I dance. So fusing that sound was a big, not struggle, but challenge for me growing up. So I started off doing R&B, and my music evolved. I added my influences as I went along. So you would hear a hint of like Caribbean music, you'd hear a hint of Afro, until I got to the stage now where Afro and R&B are just the perfect blend of what I do. And as Afrobeats is growing, as well as R&B is flourishing in the UK and in Africa as well, because some of my favorite R&B stars are now African artists.
Give me names.
Oh, Fireboy, CK, Oxlade, and I call them all Afro R&B because they're singing, you know, on Afrobeats. And to me, Afrobeats is pop now, because you can't hear a song without an Afrobeat influence, right? Mm-hmm. So I've just learned a lot about being true to yourself, knowing who you are, and believing in yourself and never giving up. And I think that's one of the things I've never done. And yeah, just taking hold of things and making decisions, being productive, so many things you learn in this industry. So because rap and hip hop is a very, very successful in the UK, it's hard for other genres to kind of get that same success unless it's like pop. So whereas like R&B and Afro, there's so many talented artists, but we're still striving to get that recognition. And obviously Afrobeats has grown in the UK, so only just now we've got the Afrobeat charts in the UK, which is still fairly new. And we have to remember that Black people are a minority of the UK, so that's why it's probably slightly harder for us to kind of receive such success. But there are loads and loads of artists that are amazing but people don't know of. So there's like Sona, there's a lot, there's NSG, obviously they're very popular. But so I think we're currently on the horizon. Now we're getting the recognition we deserve, and hopefully things will continue to change and get better, really. But making it as an artist in the UK is very, very, very tight. And it's crazy because we're such a small island, but there's just so much that comes with being successful. It's very much dominated and how can I say, controlled by labels and the big heads. So yeah. So
making it as an independent artist is where it's a tad difficult.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay.
So I'll say someone like Malik Berry. He's managed to kind of grow. I would say he's a UK artist only because he's from here. I know it's hard. It's like you guys might not say that, but he's from here. He lives here. Do you know what I mean? It's only because he's had international success and has been working with Afrobeat artists has he crossed over, in my opinion. I mean, it'll be interesting to ask him what he is.
Oh, okay. Because even I was a little bit not really surprised. I know Malik came from the UK because even before he became famous, we had been hearing that there was this guy, you know, Malik Berry. Then he put out, he made a beat for Back to the Matter. That was after Wizkid moved to the UK, and that was when we started hearing about Malik Berry. So I think you're right.
And that was actually his song.
Oh,
that was actually his song. Back to Matter is his song. It's not actually Wizkid's.
I know. Wiz was featured on the song as well. Yeah. So I think you're right by calling him a UK artist, because I know he's come here. He comes here regularly, but half the time he's in the UK. So you are right. So let me ask you now that you want your music, or I don't know. I'm just thinking. You want your music to cross over, you know, for the rest of Nigeria to at least be familiar with your music. Have you ever thought about moving here?
Yes, all the time. I'm currently trying to leave. I'm trying to go. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more. There's a lot more preparation that goes into just moving and packing your bags. Obviously, some people can just do that. I have a lot more responsibilities. But that is what I endeavor to do in the future. I really just want to embrace the culture. Like even the artists that are there, the producers, they're just so talented. So I just kind of want to just soak up that atmosphere and that energy. And there's so many people that I want to work with over there. So definitely.
Give me names. Because they could see these and it's going to make it easier for you, you know, for you guys to link up on everything.
Well, I want to work with CK, 100%. want to work with CK. I love CK. Omale, obviously, he's amazing. He's crossed over. There's so many. London, the beat, like on the beat. I know Chills, actually. I want to work with him. A lot of people I'm just waiting to work with. LAX, want to work with him. Who else? There's so many talented people. My brain. Choose Beats as well. I'm kind of hoping to work with him. Malik himself. So yeah, there's a few people that I've seen. Even Rexy on the beat, he's so talented. Crayon, yeah, Rema, Don Jazzy obviously has co-signed my last single. So I think it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. I just need to pack my bags and come over, you know?
Before I go, let's talk about this new song, Sheba. Yeah. I know it's been out for a bit, like a month or a few weeks.
Yes.
There's a part of the song that I really like. When you say something about quality, it gets to the part that it builds the Shay La Rose quality or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that part. And of course, like you said, you gave WC a shout out with that line.
Yes, one of my faves.
Exactly. So talk to me about the song. You know, tell people why they should go listen to that song. And guys, before we allow you to talk, I think the video is really nice. Those moves went, you know, the moves were flowing. Like it wasn't forced. I don't know if you understand, but you know, sometimes people that the director and the video, they don't capture the essence of the whole dance, but everything works for you. So I think people should go check out the video as well. So talk to me about the song.
Thank you so much. It's so great how you put that out, because that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted my director to capture what my choreographer had made, because it was such a strong routine, even from like what we was doing with our feet, how our formations, me walking underneath, crawling underneath the girls, trying to be sexy and falling over. And just the positions, like I always say big thank you to Cresta, Beyond the Limits team, dance team, amazing company. They're doing so much stuff. They're currently working at the Brit Awards, working for Steph London, all these big brands, and I got a chance to work with her, so I'm always grateful for that. And her amazing dancers as well. And then I have Ash Riley, who is my photographer. I mean, my director / brother. We've been working together for so long. He knows my angles. He knows exactly what I want. He knows what he can watch a video and say, yep, Shay's not gonna like that. She's not gonna like that angle. And he just captures the essence. So the video was like one of my biggest projects, my biggest shoots ever. I remember walking on stage thinking, is this for me? This is crazy. Literally. And everything was just on point. So yeah, I had an amazing time capturing She Bad. I just wanted it to show me evolve as an artist, show me sexy, confident, everything I'm singing about, dancing as well. And She Bad is really just about feeling good. It's my go-getters anthem, you know? We were all shut at home for like a year, suppressed, depressed. So it was just kind of like, cool, let's go out, let's get this money, let's get this bag, let's work hard, and let's just enjoy life, you know? Work hard, enjoy life. I always say that life is a balance. There's no point of doing one and not doing the other. So yeah, and that song was just obviously for my women. Black women have women in general, but Black women, as I am one, they have a very soft space in my heart, a little place in my heart, because I just want to see Black women doing well. I want to see them doing amazing things, flourishing. And yeah, She Bad is the start of a new kind of phase for me. You know, She Bad, just showing people another side to me, you know, my sexy fierce side. I've been very happy-go-lucky, and now I'm just like, okay, let's get this Beyonce on.
You know.
Yes, this sass as well, this confidence that I've always had. It's just kind of my platform to do so. And yeah, it's really been received well. I had to shout out Wande Cole, one of my favorite artists, Afrobeat artists. He definitely, him and R&B and Afrobeat, he's another kind of Afro R&B person that I just love. I've seen him live, his melodies, his lyrics, the way he just romances, I'll say, music is just, everybody knows Wande Cole. So I had to shout out, all of my guys are ballers. And yeah, She Bad is one of my favorite songs. And I like that you like this, the quality bit. Shout out to Nkuru as well. Nkuru is another Afrobeat artist from the UK. She's amazing. And she wrote the song with me. And yeah, that bit, spending money, spending quantity, Shay La Rose, we quality, play a song, make you move body, or yeah, sing along. Yeah, like that's a feel-good kind of vibe. So
yes.
That's one of my favorite bits.
I agree. Okay, Shay, thank you very much for speaking for speaking with me. Unfortunately, I have to go. But
no, thank you so much.
This was fun. This was fun. I really, I wish you the best